In June 2010, European Space Agency launched a simulation of a crewed mission to Mars. 520 days, 6 astronauts from different countries had to work together in complete isolation from the outside world. The project had a set of exploration objectives, and the main challenge was, would these 6 adults be able to cooperate effectively together to deliver those objectives? This project is known as Mission Mars 500. And one of the important prerequisites of its success was the use of a unique team diagnostic and development tool, Sociomapping. Sociomapping allowed to visualize what was going on in the team at a given moment and to plan necessary interventions. For example, a team discussion or role rotations or an intervention of a psychologist if there was a need. Hello, I'm Oksana Jurek, Senior Business Trainer and Business Consultant at international consulting and training company W. These days, our teams and whole organizations found themselves in a situation which is very similar to conditions of a mission to Mars. And it's vitally important to understand what is going on in the team and what is needed, what kind of processes and steps to keep our team functional and effective. Why should we care about effectiveness of cooperation within the team? If, for example, I'm absolutely sure that people in my team are highly qualified and mature, isn't it enough? The answer is no. Key indicators of successful team or organization include performance, efficiency, and sustainability of results. Some time ago, Meredith Belbin proved that in order to get the best team outcomes, it's not enough to have outstanding individual contributors. It is of high importance to ensure a synergetic effect of the efforts of those individual contributors. And the secret of synergy is in efficient team cooperation. But what if our team is happy about our results and we deliver all what we asked? Well, in this case, you have to ask yourself an important question. How efficient and optimal is the way through which these results are achieved? Is there a risk that these results are achieved at somebody's super efforts to compensate for inefficient connections within the team? In fact, sustainability of results is achieved through optimization of efforts and cooperation, not through regular firefighting. How can we understand whether collaboration within our team is optimal and whether the results are achieved in an efficient way? You can choose the path of individual interviews, which require considerable time investment for conducting an interpretation. You can also analyze individual and team performance indicators, or you can use sociomapping. Sociomapping can be compared to MRI scan. It literally allows you to look inside the team in a structured and scientifically sound way and get real-time results focusing on different aspects. How does the process of sociomapping look like? How much time does it require? It's real time. You can do it at your team meeting or, say, a special workshop. How is diagnostic organized? In a typical project, every team member has to answer 3 or 4 questions. Every question assesses a certain interaction aspect, and it has to be done in relation to every individual team member. Usually, the assessed aspects are the following. Current frequency of communication, and the question about it sounds like, how often do you communicate with the following people about work-related topics? Other aspects, desired frequency of communication, importance of communication, quality of communication. All these aspects are measured on a scale from 1 to 5. The undisputed advantage of sociomapping is the way the results are visualized, using the metaphor of a landscape. Thus, the results are presented not as a set of grids, not as a set of statements. It is a geographical map which is intuitively understandable. And what should we do with this map? Not with a map, but with the maps, because result is presented as a set of maps. And these maps allow us to visualize the discrepancies between the current situation and desired situation. In front of you, right now, you see the real team. To keep the confidentiality, we anonymized these maps. On the right, you see the current situation. On the left, desired situation. So what can we see from the map on the right, which describes the current situation about cooperation? Well, we can see that people who are marked as I, C, G, F are far away from everybody else, which means that their cooperation and communication is quite weak in terms of other team members. Let's have a look at desired state. We had a team member which is marked as A, and in a desired situation, person marked as A is pushed out. So probably, most likely, this person actually abuses the communication or does not communicate effectively. And everybody else in a desired state is a bit closer. We can also have a look at the 3D version of a desired situation. Well, Sociomapping allows to visualize the difference between current situation and expectations of team members, because these discrepancies create frustrations of the team members and lead to conflicts, open and hidden. Sociomaps cannot be perceived as a solution. They create the ground for starting a structured and facilitated dialogue right there at the workshop, a dialogue which provides us with a chance to get to common understanding where we want to be as a team in terms of our communication and cooperation and other aspects. It provides us with a chance to develop an action plan, to start implementing it, and to get our challenges solved. It is also important to mention that Sociomaps cannot be used as a team assessment tool. It's a team development tool. Sociomapping helps to create the culture of openness, a culture of feedback. So the Sociomapping allows to visualize what is going on in the team right now, to demonstrate the discrepancies between where we are now and where we want to be, to discuss whether where we want to be is actually where we need to be, to start drafting an action plan which will help us to develop further and fine-tune our communication and cooperation. Who can benefit from Sociomapping? Project teams, business units, departments, top management teams, whole organizations. We can continue the list. When should Sociomapping be used? In the situation of quarantine, when individual team members and the whole organizations found themselves in completely new environment. In high conflict situations, when cooperation within the team has to be discussed and improved. In agile transformations, when project teams are assembled for top management teams to become more effective and more aligned, as an alternative to 360 feedback, for assessing internal customer satisfaction. In 2019, Sociomapping in cooperation with NASA helps to make a project Sirius 19 a success. It was a 120-day simulation of a crewed space mission to the moon. Sociomapping proved to be effective in the space. Already for 15 years has been helping to develop the teams on the Earth. And without shadow of a doubt, it will help you to keep the performance of your team in the times of corona crisis.